Hey, it's AU5, and this is the Ultracomb, a filter I invented.
It's a highly flexible, zero-latency, inharmonic analog shepherd filter that can produce sounds only before heard from FFT processors and spectral synths.
The Ultracomb is built with just a clever arrangement of delays, frequency shifters, and all-pass filters. You can build it entirely with free plugins, such as the Ableton stock devices, the Kilohertz Essentials bundle, or the Melda Free Effects bundle.
Drop the science on these motherfuckers.
Comb filtering is a phenomenon that occurs when a signal interferes with a time-shifted or a phase-shifted version of itself. Interference from time shift or a delay creates flanging, which creates harmonically spaced notches, and that has a distinctively different sound than when a phase-shifted signal interferes with itself, creating inharmonically spaced notches, also known as a phaser. So to demonstrate, I have a noise generator playing pink noise, and I have a phaser. Let me expand my wave candy spectrum so you can see. You can choose different notches, amounts of notches, the spread of the notches, and also the center point. Now a flanger, on the other hand, really just has one parameter, and that's a time delay. But these notches are harmonically spaced. A phaser works by phase shifting the spectrum, where different frequencies get delayed at different times from one another. And this is what creates the interference at the 180-degree phase shifts, but not harmonic intervals, because all of the frequencies are not being delayed at the same rate. There's another type of comb filtering that I quite like, using a frequency shifter and interfering a shifted signal with its dry signal, like so. It's much like a phaser, but I like to call this a shepherd filter because it's essentially creating a shepherd tone as notches in the spectrum. I wanted to combine the three and make something more extravagant and more flexible. This is when I decided to create the Ultracomb. But instead of combining these different filters in series, like so, which can be interesting, but I also find quite boring, I've discovered a way to combine them all to create a new kind of comb filtering, a hybrid of all of the three. For the flanging portion, I'm going to be using a delay. I'm going to initialize this, turn off the filter, no ping pong, full wet. I'm going to create a effect rack. So now we have two delays. The minimum value of the delay in Ableton's device is 1 millisecond. So by creating two, I can get interference values less than 1 millisecond. So if I play this, I can move the delay, and I have a flanger effect. So now I want to add a phaser to that. However, a lot of phasers, even at 100% wet, will give you the interfered signal. So a phaser uses all-pass filters or phase shifters to create notches by interfering with the dry signal. Now, at 100% wet, we have the interference signal. So in order to create the actual all-pass filter, extracting just the all-pass phase-shifted signal without the interference, we have to do a little bit of trickery. So I'm creating an effect rack. I'm going to macro the essential parameters: notches, center, and spread. Now I'm going to duplicate this, and for this second one, I'm going to hit the invert button. And what you'll see on the spectrum is all of the frequencies that were cut out are now coming through. All this is really doing is polarity inverting the dry signal that it interferes with. Now that I have this, if we combine both of them, we have a dry signal, unaffected from the original. However, in order to get the phase shift out of it, we have to apply a phase invert utility on one of these. You probably can't hear it because it's not affecting the frequency magnitudes, but if I use a tone generator, a low frequency sawtooth wave, and increase the notches, you can hear it's creating the effect of phase dispersion. And if we make this even lower, you can even see the phase shift curve in the spectrum. So this is a way that you can create a free disperser. I can demonstrate how by adding the dry signal to interfere with this phase shift, we get the phaser again. Here's a dry chain. And here we have our phaser. So we have flange, phase, and now the frequency shifter. I'm going to combine all of these together. So I'm putting the phase shifter and the frequency shifter in one of the delay chains. So now we have two parallel delays, but one of them has the phase shifter and the frequency shifter. Now, shifting the frequency, we get the Shepherd filter in addition to the notches and the spacing that the phase shifter and the time delay is introducing. So now I can change the delay values. Now we are getting inharmonic combs, and if I change the dry delay, watch what happens. And that is the basis of the Ultracomb. Let's hear it with the saw wave. So to take this a step further and make this a very powerful effect, let's create macros for these parameters. So let's duplicate this 4 times and then highlight them all, reset them, so now they're all in phase with each other. Let's record some sounds. You can use an LFO to randomize these parameters automatically. You can even double it up. That's a sufficient amount of audio. Check this out. I was able to recreate the Ultracomb in Snap Heap. So basically all of these LFOs down here are randomizing the positions of the macros. Here's a demo loop I made that uses just a chopped up Ultracomb bass jam and some reverb and filter automation. There's a sample pack of sounds that I made with the Ultracomb for free in the description. And if you're a member of my sound design masterclass, The School of Bass, you will also find the Ultracomb effect rack, a demo loop project file, and the Ultracomb bass jam stems, as well as the full uncut version of this tutorial. If you're not a member of the School of Bass, check out the link in the description. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Peace.